Oh, yes, indeed. Welcome to another show. It's We the People. It's Wednesday, November the 26th, 2014. Wow. You're logged on to and into the GoPro Radio Network. And this is We the People Show live. And of course, in living color, if you're watching us through your very special device. If you'd like to call in, the number is 646-716-9954, 646-716-9954. And today's show is sponsored in part by the People's Advocacy Group, PAG, that's PAG, and the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. And of course, you, the people, very special people out there. And I'd like to thank you for tuning into the show. And since we've been doing these shows, our mission is, and it will be, to reach out to you, the people. We want to make sure that you're aware of your rights, and we're going to try to educate you, all right, on how to be or how to better navigate your way through the system. And that's the system of injustice, and not to become a victim of it either. All right. Here in New York City, we're in the New Jersey and Connecticut tri-state area. We're getting our first snow for the season. It's not heavy. It's a little wet, but kind of interesting. And tomorrow being Thanksgiving, as we've been taught to recognize it as, I'm going to talk about that. I just want you to know that us seeing the snow here in the tri-state area is a strong indication that winter is here. So all of you out there, get ready, with your salt, your shovels, checking your heating systems and your tires, and making sure that you have the right boots and gloves and the kids and stuff, and just make sure that you're ready to deal with the winter. Oh boy, I'm gonna go through a bunch of things today. I'm kind of just thinking about the holiday seasons coming around. A lot of people, and this is not part of my script. This is just off the top of my head. A lot of people are alone, and a lot of people are missing family, missing loved ones who are here, there, doing their own thing and not communicating. I just want to say that during the holiday seasons that people should try to reach out. Even if it's a phone call. Well, nowadays it's a text or email or Instagram or a Twitter or even a Facebook thing. The Facebook thing seems to work for me. I have family from around the world, and they stay in contact with me through Facebook. So why not reach out to a family member? Say hello, how you doing? However you do, just reach out to them. They might be waiting to hear from you, and you might even save their lives. A lot of people get lonely and depressed around this time in the holiday season, and they see the snow on the ground, and they're alone, and they're cold. Just check on them and make sure that they're all right, okay? We need to take care of our people. I just want to go through some of the things that we do on the show before you go into court, because, we talk about injustice and how to protect yourself and how to represent yourself pro se. Before you go into court, make sure you have a good idea of what you want, and don't let the court environment shake you. Don't let it spook you. Don't let it scare you. Don't let it deter you either, okay? Remember, you paid for this system to work fairly for everyone, and that everyone is you, the taxpayer. So we did a little bit of that, and I'm just going to go down a couple of things and just, food for thought for you to think over the holiday season, and maybe it might sink in at some point, and hopefully you will not become a victim of the system. If you are already a victim of the system, it's time for you to stand up, get on your feet, because you haven't been defeated. They probably got in a couple of good blows, but guess what? You are better than any blow that they could ever throw. So let's go, get up, get to it, get educated, and fight back. That's what it's about. Now, if you're listening to our show and we get a little cut off, or we fade in or fade out, and that's only because of the little people that have special interests out there are trying to control what you know and should know. All right. And they're trying to suppress you. So don't let that discourage you either. Your education is the key to fighting the system, to fighting injustice. And if you'd like to email me with something that's going on in your particular area, you can email me at Sonny, Sonny. This is one word, Southerland, Southerland at AOL.com. This next subject seems to be a pretty hot one. Or should I say topic? Well, anyway, it's hot. It's been all over the media, and of course, and you know by now what I'm getting ready to say, Ferguson. We know what that's all about, or do we? I don't know. I'm just going to give you my opinion on it, and I'm sure everybody has their own opinion, but and it pays to listen because you never know. We can all learn from each other, and that's what it's all about. Education. That's what we talk about here, educating, and once you get educated, you get empowered, and then you can go as far as you want to go. Now, in Ferguson, they're rallying, they're protesting, and and I believe that the whole rallying thing and the protesting thing is kind of like old school. We've done that for years. How many times have we took it to the streets and we protest, we let the police abuse us with the dogs, the sticks, the water, the tear gas, the mace. How many times have we done that? Well, I think we as a people, if we want to be effective, it's time for us to update how we do things. It's time for us to update how we fight back. It's time for us to update how we protest against bad government or government that has gone bad or government that doesn't represent the people or government that is not giving the people what they're paying the taxes to get. All right. I think it's time that we update it. And I think the only way to make the government or a sub-governmental agency listen is that we need to hit them in the pocket. Remember, we fund what they do to us. Everything that they do to us, we can't complain about. I'm hearing somebody talk in the background. Everything that they do to us, we are paying for them to do to us. If they abuse us, we're paying them to abuse us. If they shoot us and kill us, we are paying for them to shoot us and kill us. That's right. We're giving them the money. So now when we go out in the street and protest, what is that? We're making more of a target for ourselves to be shot, mazed, arrested, and we're playing into the system. That doesn't make sense. It made sense maybe 50, 60, 70, maybe even 100 years ago. Maybe not 100 years ago, maybe 50 years ago. But it doesn't make sense today with social media going on, with the fact that we're supposed to be more educated than we were before. Before, for us to learn how to read, we had to take a candle late at night and open up a book and learn how to read and be in fear of people coming in with white sheets on and hats and taking us out and beating us for reading. We don't have that kind of situation like that anymore. But I believe we still have that kind of situation going on now because we're reading more. We're supposed to be more educated. People are doctors and professors, and they have big businesses. But guess what? We're still not educated. We're not educated in the common sense of common sense. Nobody's teaching us that. I think it's time that we really teach ourselves, and we need to teach ourselves how to protect ourselves. Okay? It's very important that we really get educated in the right way. And I understand us following a legacy of marching and protesting and all that jazz and stuff. Yeah, it was good when I was growing up and we did that. We felt some type of unity. But did we do anything? Did we affect change? The same things that we're marching about today, the same thing that's going on in Ferguson, is the same thing. And this is just from memory. I didn't write this down. This is just from memory. The same thing that happened in Florida with Trayvon Martin, the same thing that happened in Staten Island, where I'm from, with Ed Carter a few years ago. Wasn't it the same thing in New York City? Wasn't there Amadou Diallo? Wasn't it Sean Bell? I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And the stuff that I'm hearing in broadcast media is that more cops or cops are killing more people than the people that have died in maybe 2 or 3 wars. What is that all about? Well, I'm going to tell you, we are paying for these people to abuse us, to kill us, to arrest us, to assault us, to harass us. It doesn't make sense. Now, if you watch the news and they talk about terrorism and what's going on overseas, which I have no idea about, and what they tell us, though, what's going on overseas, that we should not support terrorism, but we paying taxes here in the U.S. Aren't we supporting domestic terrorism? We're being terrorized by the very people that we're paying to protect us. What's that about? Well, just food for your thought. And I hope the thought is deep. And I hope that we kind of upgrade how we protest against, and I'm not saying all government, but some governmental agencies that have gone bad. They become an entity onto themselves, and they lost the whole premise of what they're supposed to represent. And the representation is to protect the people that are paying their salaries. That's what it's all about, people. You're missing the whole point. Yes, they're killing our loved ones, and we miss them, but nobody's really doing anything about it. And the people that are bringing this to our attention, they're bringing it to our attention. Oh yes, they are. They're doing a very good job at that. They're in the newspapers. They're in front of the cameras. They're making it happen. They're bringing a lot of people together. But something is missing because it's still happening. All these names, the Sean Bells and the Ed Carters and the Amadou Diallos and a bunch of other names. Baez, what about Anthony Baez? He was choked by a cop. What about all this stuff? What about all this? All these people. And it's happening in a very short time. So that means that whatever we're doing doesn't seem to really be working, or they're shamming us. They're telling us, okay, we're going to change this. Okay, we're not going to do the chokehold. The chokehold was declared unconstitutional about 10 years ago. And didn't they do that to Ed Carter in Staten Island? People, come on, let's go. Wake up. It's time to stop the protesting. It's time that we, the people, should sanction these sub-governmental agencies that have become a special interest, an entity onto themselves. How cops are, oh, you're a civilian and I'm a member of the force. I'm a member of the service. No, you're not. You're a servant of the people. Okay? We need to stop all that personalized stuff that you're a member of something elite that is beyond the people. Nothing in this country can be on the people because the people are the ones that allow it to exist, people. I mean, let's wake up. All right? Don't get caught up in politics, in the left, the left wing, the right wing, the middle wing, any wing at all. Be caught in what you're supposed to be caught in. You're supposed to be getting service, people. If you pull into a gas station for gas, only thing you want is gas. If you want something else, you get out and you get it. But the main purpose is the gas, air, cigarettes, hopefully not, and a soda or juice or whatever. We're going to take a break and give you a chance to think about that. And wow, it's We the People. My name is Sonny B. Southerland Sr., and I just want to reach out and educate you and make you more aware of the power that you do have. It's the GoPro Radio Network, and we'll be right back.
Content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
We are an amazing people, rooted in Africa, the cradle of human civilization, descendant of the awesome men and women who made a way out of no way. People steeped in the values of truth, justice, respect, harmony, balance, reciprocity, and order. But 400 years of enslavement, Jim Crow, and racism, fueled by the lie of black inferiority, have taken their toll. The result? Too much pain, too much hurt, too much loss. We owe our ancestors, ourselves, and our children so much more than this. Join the movement for emotional emancipation, healing, and wellness for Black people. Go to communityhealingnet.org and take the pledge to defy the lie and embrace the truth. That's communityhealingnet.org. Our children and our ancestors are waiting.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Oh, yes, indeed. And the voices in your head are telling you to wake up and be who you are. I'd just like to remind you that the views expressed on this program do not reflect the views of the GoPro Radio Network. We, the people, and of course, myself, Sonny B. Southerland Sr., are responsible for all content. So I guess if you're going to sue somebody, you have to sue me. Right now, that wouldn't be such a good idea. Maybe later on we can talk about it. Getting back to what I was saying, we need to demand the type of service that we pay for with our hard earned money, our taxpayer dollars, and we're not getting it. We need to hit these are small groups that mask themselves under government. Okay, we need to hit them in their pocket. We can't afford to pay up, let's say in New York City, they got like 38,000, 40,000 police officers. We can't afford to pay for all that if they're killing us, and they're almost defeating their own purpose. They're killing the people that are potential they are killing people that are either potential taxpayers or people that are paying taxes to sustain their salary. That sounds like, what are you doing? You're killing somebody that's paying the taxes, that's paying for your salary. That doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. And the killings, like I said, has been going on for years, and our so-called leaders, they haven't helped to solve the problem. They have used the problem. They have pimped the struggle. Yes, they pimped the struggle at our loved ones' expense. Are you listening to me? And at the expense of the taxpayers. People everywhere, I'm telling you, it's time to sit down and get real solutions, okay, for these very real problems, and it needs to happen right now. We don't need a fireman to come to a fire to sit down and have a chit chat or drink some coffee and talk about the fire. We want the fire out, and as the people, we want the fire out now. We don't need any more killings. I mean, our people, and these are a lot of young people. I mean, I don't know what the stacks are. I'm pretty sure you can go on the internet and you can Google it of all the people killed by law enforcement around the whole country. Yeah, I'm sure you can do that. Everybody Googles everything nowadays. Google it. Look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it. And I'm not going to get into the statistics because what difference does it make? The person or people or a whole lot of people are just gone. All right. Yeah, they get whatever they get from the government. They file lawsuits. The attorneys jump in and the advocates jump in, and it becomes a circus. And we got to march up and down the streets, and then we got to go into court, and then we got to go on TV. It's a whole show. It's time for us to wake up, people. Please, let's wake up. Myself, you, and you. Now, okay, here we go. This is another one. Tomorrow is what we have been taught, or what we have been told is Thanksgiving. Now, what is Thanksgiving? In school, they give us a little history. The history that I was taught, if it was correct or not, that the English decided to clear out their jails and they sent their criminals on or about their way on a boat that eventually wound up in what is called today the U.S., the United States of America. They thought they were going to some island, I believe the Caribbean islands, but they wound up in Virginia, New York, somewhere, Staten Island, I don't know, Brooklyn. Who knows? Wherever they wound up over here on the East Coast. And when they landed here, guess what they did? What would you expect criminals to do? They killed everybody. That's what they did. They killed everybody. And the people that we're told that were here, and there probably were more different people, were the Indians, the indigenous people of the United States of America. Wow, they killed them. The ones that they didn't kill, they tried to enslave and they raped. All right, this is what happened. Now, after they learned from these people, they even killed those that were working with them. Wow, can you believe that? So now they sit down and they have a meal because the ones that they didn't kill taught them how to cultivate the land, how to grow corn and what to hunt and how to hunt. And they sat down and they had a big meal. And these criminals that came from the other side of the world gave thanks. And it's a tradition that's brought down to this day that we celebrate like a bunch of knuckleheads. I mean, we're really knuckleheads. We're celebrating something that was at the detriment of our ancestors. Can you believe that? Wow. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then history tells us that these same people, okay, rebelled against the British because of taxes. That's what I talk about a lot. Not only do I talk about injustice, but I talk about taxes because our taxes pay for the injustice that we're getting from the people that we're paying to protect us. It's connected. Connecting the dots is not hard, people. It's really not that hard. It's really not that complicated. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure a lot of this stuff out. These people have already figured it out. And since we are pretending like we asleep, they're saying, so what? Let's just milk it for whatever we can. Like a construction worker, let's milk the job until we get the next one. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just running off with my mouth and maybe I'm missing something. I mean, look at it this way. It's been 200 and about 26 years since the signing of the U.S. Constitution. Did you know that? And these are some of the people that were criminals. These are ancestors of the people that were criminals. They put together the United States Constitution. And if you read it, it tells you that if the people don't keep the checks and balances on the system, it's going to go out of control, people. And guess what? We're still not free. We're not free. So this is We the People. We're just about almost coming to another wrap of the show. And we wanted to open up the phone lines, but I wanted to express to the people about what's going on and what we should really look at and don't veer off into another direction because it's almost like a magician. And, while you're looking at the left hand, the right hand is doing something funny. We're looking at both hands and they're both doing something funny. And we're not recognizing it. We're getting emotionally involved. Yes, the loved one. I lost a few loved ones, and I'm sure somebody knows somebody who lost a loved one. And it's time for it to stop. We don't need to elect somebody new. We only thing we have to do is boycott these people. Stop supporting these people. I'm not saying don't pay taxes. I'm not saying that because then they'll send the IRS after you, and that's another big fight. And the IRS is going through a lot of reform because they went after people for all kind of different unlawful reasons. So they're going through a whole nother fight. Don't want you to get involved in that unless you are prepared for that. And you really need to have an education to stand up and fight the IRS, which is like, you might win, and a lot of times you won't. So let's try to take and choose our battles that we know that we can handle at our level until we graduate to another level. And it is a level that we should be very conscious of every single day. There's so much in this country. There's so many people living in the streets, starving, just struggling, trying to make it. And there's not enough jobs. There was a big thing last week about immigration, and a lot of people feel that immigrants coming from another country into this country is taking the resources away from the people in this country, and that might be true to a certain extent, but the only thing that gets me is why would an immigrant come into a strange country and be arrogant to the people? That's the only thing that gets me. And that's a little personal thing, but I guess I'll get over that. I know if I went into their country, I would walk on rice paper because I don't know. But you're coming to this country and you're being arrogant. I understand in your country you didn't have a job, you couldn't support your family, this, that, and the other. There's all kind of corruption going on. But you come into a country, into ordinary people, you're arrogant because you don't know them. That, I don't know. I don't think that's going to work. Anyway, just changing from some of my personal opinions. There's a movie, there's a DVD, there's a documentary out there that tells the whole story. And it's a must-see mini documentary. It's a short timeline of the planned destruction of black radio. It's not the whole story, but it's pretty close to the whole story. And the way it was put together, it'll keep you in your seat or glued to your device or your computer or smartphone or whatever. And it's guaranteed to keep you just, ooh, what's next? What's next? It's filled with a lot of people that you know, and a lot of people that have a lot of different views on things. And it's going to bring a good picture in your mind to why we don't have the type of information that we used to have. and you can preview it on YouTube. I believe if you just go to the YouTube and type in Disappearing Voices, it'll come up. Now, if you want the full version, you can contact the GoPro Radio Network at 212-696-8562. That's 212-696-8562. I was just thinking about that. I think I should call. Well, anyway, it's at a special price of $19.95, and I thought I had a copy. Just thinking about it. Yeah, I thought I had a copy. You know what? I think I'm going to call that number, 212-696-8562, because if I had a copy, I gave it to somebody, and I need to get another copy. Because even to me, and I've been in the business, it's a very interesting production. It's a very interesting, and it's a mini documentary. And it is very interesting, and it taught me a lot of stuff. And believe it or not, I helped work on it. And I still learned something from viewing it. And it's like, wow, you're not too old to learn. You never can say you know everything because there's still something out there that you need to know. Now, on the program, we like to reach out and talk about different issues that a lot of people are dealing with and are spending a whole lot of money on and dealing with attorneys, and they're in court and they're filing papers back and forth with issues like divorce and child support, and judges and they're caught up in the family court or in housing court. And then there's the whole movement of fathers' rights and mothers' rights and children's rights and parents' rights. And then there's the movement on corruption, and we're trying to curtail corruption so we can get more of justice and due process in the courts. And then I mentioned about immigration, and something that I need to touch on a little bit more is debt collection. Oh, yes. You can control these debtors when they're trying to collect their money from you. Yes, you can. Of course, you have a credit card, you get some credit. You want to try to use it wisely. But today it's hard. You get a job, you think you got it going on, you go out, you spend, and guess what? All of a sudden the company goes out of business or whatever, and now you're stuck with these bills, and it's hard to get another job, especially if you worked in one particular area for a very long time and you've gotten a little bit older. They don't want to hire people that are up there in that status because they have to pay them too much. Everybody's trying to cut corners. Another thing that I want to touch on in great detail is vaccines. And there's a lot of information out there about vaccines, the pros and cons, and what it causes and what it doesn't cause, and the benefits and the non-benefits. And another big issue is parental alienation. And that's when one parent, the custodial parent, namely, puts a child or children against the non-custodial parent. That type of programming that needs to stop. And then along those lines are the legal kidnapping of CPS, Child Protective Services, how they use the legal system with trickery and lies and perjury to take children from parents or parent, and then eventually put them up in foster care, where the child is eventually abused. And it's like we're not solving the problems, we're creating the problems. So I don't know how much more time we're going to do this. Are we going for another break, or we're going to the end? Well, I just want people to know that we're coming into the holidays. Tomorrow is what a lot of people are going to consider Thanksgiving. And for whatever it's worth, I think not only tomorrow, but every day we should give thanks that we have another chance or another shot to give it a try, to go at it again. And whatever problems or situations that exist or obstacles in our life, if we wake up that morning, we have another chance to do it again. Give thanks to what it is that you believe in to be superior over your own self, and work together when you can work together with people in a situation that is similar to your own, because we're not on this planet alone. And I also want to reach out to the people that have supported this program and supported me. And I just want to say that the GoPro Radio is at grassroots doing the right thing. And I'll see you next week. Enjoy. It's We the People. Ciao.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network. the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.